one ongoing issue that we've talked about as far as free agency or trades that the Diamondbacks might make this offseason is once again in regard to their problem at third base or their lack of, any viable starter there that they could proceed forward with. We've continued to look at some candidates, and now we have a guy that we actually already were going to talk about who is being linked to the Diamondbacks potentially.
Yeah, Jon Heyman, I think this was Thursday of last week, I want to say. Jon Heyman wrote a column over at the New York Post and did mention the Diamondbacks as one of the teams that have been interested in Jeimer Candelario, third baseman that, yes, we were absolutely going to talk about anyway. The fit here is pretty clear.
Yeah.
He had a good season last year. He had 22 homers, 70 RBI. If we can pull up Candelario's numbers for the season, they're like pretty solid across the board. An 807 OPS and 576 plate appearances.
Yeah.
Of course, started the year in Detroit, was traded to the Chicago Cubs at the trade deadline, and very instantly made like a pretty rad impression with the Cubs. Like
significant
he was
right
absolutely raking for like the first few weeks after that trade was made. Kind of slowed down. I think spent some time on the injured list toward the end of the year. But yeah, the fit here is clear. The D-backs need a third baseman. Candelario is a switch hitter. And yeah, I mean, the not significant splits. He can hit righties. He can hit lefties. He can do a lot of things that the Diamondbacks need someone to be able to do.
Yes. Why is he a better fit than Matt Chapman besides just the potential price tag?
It's really all the price tag.
It is all the price tag.
It's pretty much all the price tag.
Well, his versatility is there. His defense might not be as solid. He had -5 defensive runs saved, 2 outs above average over there. But I mean, again, he did play 115 games at third base, and the Diamondbacks need somebody that has that combination of offense and being able to start there at third base. And like, you're right, though. The price tag, according to a couple of different sources, it varies quite a bit, but it might be significantly cheaper than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and real quick, I definitely said that Candelario was traded from the Tigers to the Cubs when it was definitely the Washington Nationals and not the Cubs. So my mistake there.
All your credibility is just gone.
All of my credibility is gone instantly. He was with the Tigers for quite some time. Cut me some slack. But yeah, in terms of the price tag, this is hilarious because apparently no one has any idea what Jeimer Candelario is going to actually get because according to MLB Trade Rumors, they have Jeimer Candelario signing for 4 years and $70 million. And Jim Bowden over at The Athletic in his story, where he made a bunch of predictions about the size of various free agent contracts, he had Candelario signing for 2 years and $15 million.
That's quite a difference.
That's a pretty enormous difference.
Trade Rumors would be over $15 million per year on a 4-year deal worth $70 million, according to my math. And that's much significantly different. And hopefully that could be the case for the Diamondbacks, because if they were able to get somebody of that caliber that fits this team that well, 2 years and $15 million, that, I mean, even maybe offering an option for a third year, either a team option or a player option, like that just seems to be exactly what the Diamondbacks are looking for. As far even the 4-year deal fits, right, more than probably what Matt Chapman's going to seek out, because I imagine he's going to want a longer term deal as well.
Yeah, I mean, Chapman could be. I think we talked about the Athletic had 6 and 150. I mean, I think that might have been MLB Trade Rumors had 6 years, 150 million. Of course, nobody really knows at this point, but I think that's a pretty reasonable guess for Matt Chapman being kind of far and away the front runner at third base. And yeah, a lot of that has to do with what he gives you defensively. Candelario is not the defender at third base that Matt Chapman is. Chapman is a elite defender at third base. Candelario is basically a league average defender. Candelario had, I guess, slightly better numbers offensively in 2023. So you might be getting a better hitter if you sign Jeimer Candelario. But there's no question, like, overall, Matt Chapman is the more valuable player because of what he gives you defensively.
Piece of Yoshi has once again fired you, I believe. He said, "Get him out of here."
Piece of Yoshi fires me pretty much on the daily.
He fires all of it. I tried to fire him. I tried to get ahead of it and fire him proactively earlier. But Candelario is about to turn 30. Which, I mean, again, a 4-year deal, not the worst thing to keep him under contract, even if that's the route they go.
I have a hard time seeing the D-backs go to 4 years and $70 million.
I do too. I was just thinking more of the length of the term and not necessarily the $70 million. And yeah, you're right about that. But his Baseball Savant page is not great.
No,
not great.
It's not. It's really not all that inspiring. Yeah, an expected batting average of 233 this year, even though he hit about 270. Slugging percentage expected slugging percentage of 405 compared to his actual of 471. So yeah, there's some considerable evidence here. I mean, these pages aren't everything, but there's considerable evidence that if you're going into 2024 expecting Candelario to slug 470 and hit like 25 bombs, I don't know if that's a safe assumption. I think he might be more of like a league average, a little above league average type of a hitter moving forward, and that's why I don't see the Diamondbacks going to 4 years and $70 million for a guy who the underlying metrics sort of tell a little bit of a precarious story about what could be in his future.